Okay, so at the time of making this video, I've started uploading a few videos to a YouTube channel that I created. Well, I guess I already had the channel, but it's something that I'm actually starting to use. And I don't know, a couple weeks ago I did a series of videos where I was doing sort of like a DoorDash orientation, where I was, trying to explain kind of the, what you should know if you're planning on door dashing. But somebody had suggested that maybe I should show some of the stuff on the phone as far as the app goes, kind of explain it. And I thought I might do that this morning and do it a little bit as I go. So I've got the it's about 60 degrees. Well, I thought it was colder than that. Anyway, so I got my jacket on and I've got my body cam clipped to that. As I've said in other videos, I have a vest, but it's not very comfortable to drive around with it on. It's much more comfortable have it on my jacket. But the reason I mentioned the temperature is as it warms up, I might have to take my jacket off, and so I'll have to do something else with my body cam. But anyway, so I was going to show a little bit on my phone as far as the app goes, and then maybe do a couple of like DoorDash from beginning to end, and show you what that kind of looks like, if anybody's interested. So first thing is open up the app. I don't want like showing everything that's on my phone. Oh, by the way, I'm planning on putting this video with those other ones I made, the DoorDash, what you should know. But obviously these were made at different times, so hopefully it all makes sense when I put it all together. Okay, so the first thing you're going to get is this screen right here. Yours might look a little bit different depending on what kind of status you're at. Right now, I'm not, this isn't me bragging, I'm just saying, I'm at top dasher. I have a top dasher status. If you keep your numbers throughout the month, if your numbers have been over a certain amount by the end of the month, then you'll get top dasher status. So for example, if your overall star rating is over, 4.7 or over, that's what I mean by numbers. But there's other things too, like your acceptance rate, your overall rating, your completion rate, how many dashes you did in that month, stuff like that. Now, if you don't plan on dashing very much at all, it's probably not that big of a deal. But if you plan on dashing, anything beyond just a few times a week, then having that dasher anytime status is really nice to have it. Otherwise, you have to kind of plan ahead and schedule your dashes. So what that means is, say you want to dash in the evening on Monday, after you get off of work or something. Well, if there's nothing available on evening of Monday, then you're not going to be able to dash. Now I say that with a little bit of caveat, because it depends on if it's busy in the area. Now, if you go in the app and it's kind of busy, even if you can't schedule, it still might let you go ahead and dash for a certain period of time. And I'm trying to say this without sounding really, really confusing, and I'm doing this on the fly. It's not like I have this all prepared or whatever. I'm just, doing this off the cuff. See, right now, see, it just said, update, Texas Roanoke Trophy Club is busy right now. I missed do you want to dash? So even like, you see how it read? So even if there was no schedule available, no available block of time that I could go in and schedule, it probably would still let me dash because it's busy right now. Okay, that is remember, this is all if you don't have that top dasher status. By the way, I don't know if I said that. One of the perks you get with the top dasher status is being able to dash anytime. So that means you don't have to worry about when blocks of time are available. You can just get on and start dashing. It'll still ask you for a end time. I'm not sure why it does that, but but that you can start and stop whenever you want. So again, that dash anytime is really good to have. Like I said, otherwise, in most cases, you'll have to wait for an available time. And when those blocks of time, when they are available, it's usually not more than like an hour or two. Sometimes only like 30 minutes. So it really screws you up if you're trying to meet some sort of goal, or you're trying to plan around other things. So you might just look into that yourself if you're looking at dashing, so you know what the numbers are that you need to have. And it's not real hard to do, to keep the numbers where they're supposed to be. Again, unless you're just, if you're only dashing like 2 or 3 times, a week, then it might be harder. But in those cases, it doesn't really matter anyways. All right. So where I dash is the Texas Roanoke Trophy Club area. That's just where I've designated my zone, I guess. I talked about this in another video. I can't remember how that was set up when I first started my account. You can always change that, but you see that right there, Texas. Let's see, make sure that's on camera. Hopefully that's on camera. Texas Roanoke Trophy Club. Okay, and I can zoom in and out so you can kind of see all that busy. When it's red, it's busy. If it's kind of like a dark red, it'll say very busy. All that means is if it says very busy, you sign on, you're pretty much guaranteed to get DoorDash's orders offered to you. Now you can accept or decline any orders, but remember, if you're declining a lot of orders, that's going to count against your numbers, your acceptance rate. And I talked more about that in another video. I'm not going to go into that again. But yeah, so I'm in the DFW area. I dash in the suburbs, and what I try to do is dash close to home. So Roanoke/Trophy Club, that's right there. This little gas thing, that's just telling you, if you click on that, it'll say where there's a gas station offering that nearby. It's kind of a handy thing to have. But I'm not going to drive way the hell out of my way just so I can save a few cents on gas, If it is a way, I'd be close by. I don't know. I don't click on that too often because I have my favorite spots to go to as far as gas. That gas is a big deal too, by the way, but I'm not going to get off on that either. Some of this other stuff, I'm not going to really explain everything. Promos, you just, that tells you when, like Pete Pay and stuff like that is offered. Again, I don't want to go into that into depth because I've talked about that before, I think. And I'm not going to go into all these other, like I said, little modules and stuff to explain every single aspect of the app. This is just kind of an overall rundown. So I can click on earn per offer, earn by time. I've never done earn by time. I've looked it up. It sounds like earn by offer is a little bit better. I guess it depends on where you're at and what you're doing, but that's all I've ever done is earn by offer. Earn per offer. Just a real quick. One is you get a base pay from DoorDash plus tips. The base pay can change depending on certain factors. Earn by time means once you have accepted, I believe it's once you've accepted the order, then they calculate your pay based on the time it takes you to complete that order. I think that's correct. By the way, that's another thing. I've only been doing this for 6 months, so there could be things that I learned later. It might be things and other people watch this that that I don't know. And but this, this is based on the information I have at the time that I'm making this video. So pay per offer plus customer tips. So I haven't started my dash yet, so I'm going to click on dash now. All right, and then it asks me when I want to stop. All right, generally I like to dash. I dash full time, so I'm trying to dash 8 hours. I'm getting a late start too. So it's about noon. So I'm gonna set my dash time to about 8. Remember, that's entirely up to you. Now remember, this is only because I have dash anytime. It's going to be different for you. You'll have to actually select an available scheduled time if you don't have the dash anytime status. So we'll go 8, and then it gives me that screen. It just tells me what my acceptance rate and my customer rating right now is. 4.93, acceptance rate 79%. All right, now these little flames, that just tells you where hotspots are. You want to be near flames, You don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to be way like out here. So generally I'll start trying to head toward one of these flames and see if I can't get an order. All right. So let me put this on my charger and then I'll get going. Actually, so yeah, I'm going to stop the recording and I'll start it back up, if I get an order. Well, I don't know. I want to kind of keep this going so you can see what it looks like when I gotten an order. Now I'm going to stop it. I'll start it again. Hopefully you can catch that. Maybe. Okay, so I just got an order. It's $2.25 for 1 mile. But I don't take anything over anything under $3. All right, so I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to decline it. So I'm trying to do this while I'm driving. And then it just kind of gives you a warning when you go to decline an order that, you know, you're going from whatever acceptance percentage to whatever. You know, it's obviously going to drop. I don't know if I said this earlier, but your acceptance rate has to be 70% or better, along with all those other numbers, to get the top dasher status. So we're right here at the end of the month. I don't want to be declining too much. So if it looks like, let's see, I got another one. So if it looks like I need to, I will go ahead and take those low dollar orders. So this one, it says high pay offer. That's another thing, is if you keep your rating up over a certain amount, you'll get these, you'll get first in line for the higher pay offers. So this is $7 for 2.6 miles, $7, 2.6 miles. I'm going to take that. And it only gives you a certain amount of time to accept. So you got to be kind of quick on the ball with that. Then it just tells you how to get to there. I just pulled up to it, so I'm already there. So I'm just going to exit out of that. Okay, gives you all this other information about the, you know, the store and address and stuff like that. So I'm going to click on arrived at store. They keep changing the app with, you know, they want to constantly be adding all these warnings and stuff. It just gets more and more cumbersome. It's just telling you, make sure you don't forget the drinks. Got it. Okay. Oops. I'm going to have to probably blur out some of the information as far as the customer goes. But the next screen will tell you who the name of the customer, and it'll tell you, we'll put it down here. It just tells you a list of what is in the order. Now, there's a little bit of an issue with that. Sometimes, you know, most of the time it'll list out everything in the order that you're supposed to be picking up. But sometimes it'll just say like 1 item or 2 items, and it doesn't tell you. Or sometimes you'll go to a place and it doesn't say anything about a drink, and they're saying, oh, this has a drink. You're like, what? It doesn't list it. So the DoorDash app is very buggy. There's a lot of issues with it. So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, a lot of this is not as cut and dry as I might make it out to be as I'm talking about it. But in this particular one, it does tell you what's in the order. Now, does that mean you need to sit there and go through and itemize the order? Absolutely not. I never do that, especially because most of the time the order is sealed. But even if it's not sealed, I'm not going to do it. You know, just, you know, like it said, don't forget the drinks, and try to have an idea of what all you're getting. So if you're like getting 3 combo meals and they hand you 1 little tiny bag, there might be something wrong. Okay, so I'm going to keep this recording so you can kind of see this part of it. I've done it in other videos, but I'll just, you know, so everything's nice and together. All right. Good job. This is the first one. This is going.
DoorDash or low S?
Hello, yes. Thank you so much. You too, thank you.
sir. See you later. Okay, a couple things there. First, yeah, sorry about the as I was walking in, it seems like every time you get like, a half a dozen guys together, they forget how to behave like mature adults, making farting noises and stuff in public. I don't know how much of that you heard. It's just, man, especially if they're like grease necks. It's like, dude, really? Burp, that's funny. It's like every single one of them looked like they were at least 30. Also, you saw my son. I'm gonna have to. Oh, you saw my son. He works there at this particular Chick-fil-A. So in this one, I mean, they're all different, to certain degrees. But in this particular, all the stores, I mean, this particular one, you go in there. There's a mobile order rack. First thing I do when I go in is I check it just to see if my order's there. If not, just wait until they bring it out. Then you might be waiting there just, some few seconds or, a lot longer than that. Usually that Chick-fil-A is pretty fast. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else to know about that. Oh, what I do when I'm waiting is I go into another part of the app and see if there's any special instructions and kind of get an idea of where I'm going as far as the drop off. This one just says leave at my door and there's nothing special about it. Anyway, so they come out with the order. I picked it up. So now I'm going to click on confirm pickup. And then I'm going to bring this down because it's going to show the customer's address and I want to try not to have to blur a bunch of stuff out. So I'm going to click on confirm. And then I'm going to head to the customer's address. I'm not going to keep this recording the whole way. Just know, because I did this in another video. I get there, make sure I'm at the right place. Bring the order up to the door, set it down, take a picture of it from the app, and just follow the prompts on the screen. This one's a pretty cut and dry one. And I don't think I really need to do anything else beyond that. There's a lot more to. It's not like a real complicated thing. Anybody can do this that has any kind of technical savvy at all. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more to know, to explain, and I don't want to go into absolutely every aspect of door dashing. So I'm gonna end it there.